Good afternoon, and welcome to our consolidated LEA Improvement Plan meeting for FY26. We are so happy that you all are here this afternoon, this 12:30 to 2 meeting, and then we also have a face-to-face meeting this afternoon. We will start with introductions, introducing you to the federal programs teams and other supports who will be sharing information with you today and garnering input. I'll start with myself. My name is Maisha Warren. I'm the Executive Director of Federal Programs.
Good afternoon. I'm Joanne Potts, and I'm one of the Title I Parent Center facilitators.
Good afternoon. My name is Cleveland Dollison. I am one of the parent facilitators as well.
Good afternoon. I am Victoria Turner, and I'm a parent facilitator as well.
Good afternoon. I am Ms. Tamisha Favors, the Title I Parents Facilitator as well.
Good afternoon. My name is Demetria Perquette, and I too am one of the Title I Parent Center facilitators.
Good afternoon. I'm Tina Cash Hargrove, and I am the Migrant Liaison.
Good afternoon. I am Elaine Love Davis, Director of Equitable Services, and thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Good afternoon. I am Margot Williams, Title III, one of the Title III coordinators.
Good afternoon. I'm Taffy Fletcher, and I'm the Title IV coordinator.
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Deborah Mitchell. I am one of the senior coordinators for the Exceptional Education Department.
Good afternoon. I'm the liaison for McKinney-Vento and foster care.
Good afternoon. I'm Becky Broughton. I'm the Director for Research, Data, and Evaluation.
All right. Thank you all for those introductions. And now we will move on to our agenda. So our agenda today, the purpose of this meeting, we'll talk about the CLIP as the Consolidated LEA Improvement Plan is officially known as. We'll be discussing our strategic goals, be talking about how our federal programs supports those goals, and our parent and community input, and our parent family engagement plan. So those are the major items that we'll be talking about and getting your input to see how do we want to utilize our federal funds. Now, I know that there are a lot of questions out there surrounding some of the political areas that we have going on now, but right now we don't have any specific information about anything that's happening in Washington right now. And so part of what we have to do every year is get input and talk to you all about our plan. And that's what we plan on doing so that we can move forward with the collaborative nature of our CLIP and making sure that we have optimal engagement. Thank you so much. And now we will have Ms. Potts.
Thank you, Dr. Warren. Stakeholders, we want to hear from you. You have the right to know what the additional federal and state funds are used, how they're used here in our district to support our students, because we want every child to succeed. So you're going to be given the opportunity to give us feedback. So be ready to get those QR codes as well as the links so you can talk back to us. Thank you. And now we're going to hear from Dr. Margot Williams.
Okay, so the CLIP focuses on 6 specific goal areas, and they are Goal Area 1, Student Academic Success with Equity and Access. Goal Area 2, School, Family, and Community Engagement. Goal Area 3, Recruit, Develop, and Retain Talent. Goal Area 4, Culture and Climate. Goal Area 5, Mental Health and Wellness. And Goal Area 6, Organizational Excellence. Now I'll turn it back over to Dr. Warren.
All right, so as we talk about our federal programs overview, we look at this wheel, and this is what we have with our Georgia Department of Education. This is our continuous school improvement wheel, where we talk through identifying the needs. We have this cycle that we do where we are identifying the needs. We're looking at interventions. How are we going to implement this plan? What do we do to examine progress? What is our return on investment? How are we making sure that what we're doing is working? And so we have a continuous cycle upon this wheel talking about our whole child and being ready to learn. Also within this wheel, we have coherent instruction. What professional capacity and how do we have our professional learning? Do we have a supporting learning environment? And that's part of what the federal programs do, help to establish that supportive learning environment. Family and community engagement. What piece do you all have? Huge piece. Everything that we do, we should have involvement and input from our internal and external stakeholders, and effective leadership. So all of these things are on our wheel of continuous improvement to making sure that we have the whole child ready to learn, live, and lead. And now we'll go to Ms. Tobler.
Good afternoon. Our first program on that wheel that we'll be discussing is Title I, Part A, which is Improving Academic Achievement of Disadvantaged Students. Title I, Part A provides financial assistance to districts and schools with high numbers and high percentages of students from low-income families to help ensure that all children meet the challenges of all state academic standards. We also have Title I, Part C, which is the migratory program for children. This provides a variety of support services to families who are highly mobile to make sure that they are also able to receive high academic achievement support.
Okay, now that you've heard about Title I, Part A and Title I, Part C for migrant, let's now talk about Title II. Title II funds are for increasing capacity for both teachers and principals through professional learning. The next program we have is Title III, which is for our English learners and immigrant students. And this program is used to help those students increase their English proficiency and also to increase student achievement in English, as well as provide supplemental services to the students, their teachers, and their families. Next, we will have Ms. Taffy Fletcher.
Hello. As for Title IV, Part A, the funds are intended to improve students' academic achievement by providing all students with well-rounded educational access, improving our school conditions for their learning, and improving the use of technology. As for IDEA, which is a U.S. federal statute designed to ensure that public schools serve the educational needs of our students, the focus is to guarantee a free, appropriate education and ensure that the unique needs of our students with disabilities are met, and to ensure that services and benefits are available for our students disability enrolled at all times. Next, we'll hear from Ms. Sonia Tobler.
Title IX, Part A, the McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act. The key provisions for McKinney-Vento Act is to ensure that students are immediately enrolled regardless of their residential status. It provides funding to support programs and services for students who are homeless, such as school supplies, graduation dues and fees, field trips, as well as academic and curriculum programs. It also defines homeless as any youth or family that is lacking fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence. These students may live in shelters, motels, or may be unhoused. The Foster Care Education Act, the key provisions also provide the right for the student to remain enrolled at their primary school when they were taken into care. This act also protects the child to remain and to continue on so that they can graduate with their peers regardless of services.
And now I'm going to share some district level data with you as we transition. Okay, we're going to talk about district test scores and then some graduation data. I want to start with what is called the GKIDS Readiness Check. GKIDS stands for Georgia Kindergarten Inventory of Developing Skills. It's a mouthful, so we just refer to it as GKIDS. We're going to start with GKIDS Readiness Check data, which is administered to all of our kindergartners every fall. And then we get the results back, and teachers use those results to take a look at where students have strengths and where there are opportunities for growth. The assessment is administered to basically show us the skills that kindergartners come into the school system with, and they are the skills that are necessary for kids to be successful in kindergarten. So there are 3 different domains. The first one is called Foundations of School Success. Foundations of School Success measures 3 areas, measures approaches to learning, social and emotional development, and physical and motor skills. The next domain is English Language Arts, which measures students' readiness for reading and writing. And the last domain is called Mathematics, and it measures shapes, problem solving, similarities and differences, and basic numeracy skills. Overall, the GKIDS Readiness Check, the data on the screen, shows you the percentage of incoming kindergartners who have demonstrated independent performance of foundational skills. So the first set of numbers we're going to take a look at were for Foundations of School Success, and 38% of our kindergartners, this year's kindergartners, came in ready for kindergarten in that domain. The highest over the 3-year period was in 2023 at 40%. Now we'll take a look at the domain English Language Arts. In 2024, 34% of our students came in ready to learn reading and writing. The highest over the 3-year period, once again, was our 2023 incoming kindergartners at 37%. And in the last domain, Mathematics, in 2024, it was 41%, the highest of all 3 domains, and that was also the highest across the 3-year period. And now I'll transition to Georgia Milestones end of grade. So as you're aware, all students in our system in grades 3 through 8 take the Georgia Milestones assessment. The assessment is based off of measuring mastery of grade level standards. Students that score proficient level have mastered the standards. Students that score at the distinguished level have demonstrated advanced mastery. The data on the screen is by grade level and shows you 3 years of data, 22, 23, and 24, by grade level. So we're going to start with 3rd grade. In 2024, our mastery and advanced mastery percentage was 31.56. The highest over the 3-year period in grade 3 was in 2023 with 31.74. At the 4th grade level, the 2024 mastery percentage was 30.45, which was also the highest across the 3-year period. In 5th grade, the percentage was 40.84, once again, the highest across the 3-year period. In 6th grade, the percentage was 32.55, also, once again, the highest across the 3-year period. Likewise, in 7th grade, 2024 was the highest at 31.94. And in 8th grade, it was also the highest in 2024 at 37.23. All of the scores we just went over were for the area in English Language Arts, which measures reading and writing mastery. Now we'll take a look at the bottom of the screen and go over mathematics. In grade 3, the percent of students demonstrating advanced mastery and mastery of grade level standards was 32.08 in 2024. The highest across the 3-year period was in 2023 with a 33.79. In grade 4, mastery was at 34.30 in 2024, which was once again the highest across the 3-year period. Likewise, in 5th grade, highest across the 3-year period was in 2024 with a 30.45. In sixth grade, 19.77 was the highest over the 3-year period. In seventh grade, it was 22.40, which was once again the highest over the 3-year period. And in eighth grade, we are at 28.95, which once again was the highest over the 3-year period. And now we'll transition to the science end of grade assessment, which is only in grades 5 and 8. In grade 5, the 2024 score was a 31.36, which was the highest over the 3-year period. In eighth grade, the 2024 score was a 21.95. The 2022 score was a 23.63, and it was the highest over the 3-year period. At the middle school level, we do also take end of course assessments. I am showing that data on the screen. The physical science end of course assessment, which is eighth grade only, in 2024, the score is a 62.89%. The highest over the 3-year period was in 2023 with a 63.69. Social studies, which is only administered at the eighth grade level, 23.47% of our students showed mastery and advanced mastery of grade level social studies standards. That 2024 score was once again the highest over the 3-year period. And now we'll take a look at the high school students and how they did in mastery and advanced mastery of their course standards. At the high school, it is by course, not by grade, because multiple different grade levels take these courses. We're going to start by talking about algebra. There's been or mathematics, there's been some transition and shift in mathematics over the last couple of years. We used to have an algebra end of course assessment and a coordinate algebra end of course assessment. Majority of the students took coordinate algebra, but sometimes transfer students come in and they require an algebra assessment. Both of those assessments are no longer, were no longer tested in 2024. The new math standards started, and the new course name is Algebra, Concepts, and Connections. As you can see, the data, looking across all of the years in 2024, marked the highest on the new mathematics assessment at 24.20. American Literature and Composition, 2024 score of mastery and advanced mastery of the course standards was 33.67. The highest over the 3-year period was in 2022 with a 34.14. In biology, the highest over the 3-year period was a 33.22 in 2024, which was also like I said, the highest over the 3-year period. And then in United States history, once again, over the 3-year period, 2024 marked the highest metric at 21.20. Now we're going to round it out with our 4-year graduation rates. We've had some changes in our all students graduation rate, which is what is highlighted on the screen now with the circles. In 2022, we were at 76.2. We declined in 2023 to a 75.8. And then this past year, the 2024 4-year graduation rate for all students was a 79.1, which has been the highest that's been over a decade. So we're excited that that metric has really increased and jumped up, and we're ready to move into the 80s and increase that over time, eventually closing the gap with the state and other school districts. When we take a look at our economically disadvantaged population, this is the population that is on free and reduced lunch. In 2022, that population was at a 73.9, slight decline to 73.6 in 2023. And then in 2024, it was at a 77.3, the highest over this 3-year period. For our English language learners, in 2022, the graduation rate was 60.1. In 2023, it was 54.9, so there was a decrease. But then in 2024, we rebounded and actually grew past the 22 metric with a 60.7. The students with disabilities is the last set of metrics we're going to look at, and I'm excited to say that our students with disabilities have continued every year to increase their graduation rate. It has been over 5 years of successive improvement for that population. In 2022, they were at 60.3. In 2023, they rose to 62.6. And in 2024, they were at 67.3, which was the highest of all time.
Thank you so much for that overview of the data. Now we'll move into our goal areas and performance objectives, and we'll begin with goal area number 1, which focuses on student academic success with equity and access. And some of the action steps for this goal area include increasing proficiency rates in literacy, increasing proficiency rates in numeracy, increasing the 4- and 5-year cohort graduation rates, ensuring that all students have equitable access to and support for academic programs and career pathways, improving their academic growth, and enhancing student proficiency in digital literacy skills. So let's see how the various programs support this goal, and I will turn it over to Ms. Sonia Tobler.
Now, some examples of how federal program supports Goal Area 1 is when you look at Title I, Part A, they provide a supplemental resources such as school supplies, technology equipment, as well as we support after school and summer programs to enhance instruction based on the school's needs. For Title IX, Part A, we provide tutorial support around hearing and vision screenings for the enrollment process, assistance transportation so that the child may remain at the school of origin where they were permanently housed, or they can enroll into the currently exoned school. We also will provide support with school supplies, school uniforms, graduation cap and gown fees for seniors. Title I, Part C, which is the migratory children with appropriate educational services, also provides provides support and special needs in a coordinated and efficient manner. As they move from county to county, we want to make sure that the students are not being penalized based on the differences between state curriculum standards and graduation requirements. Now up next will be Ms. Taffy Fletcher.
As for Title II, Part A, there's professional development is provided for our teachers. For Title III, funds support ESOL summer enrichment programs and tutorial services. As for Title IV, services support well-rounded education by promoting diverse learning experiences. As for IDA, funds support instructions for special education and related services as relates to extended year services. Next, we'll hear from Ms. Victoria Turner.
Thank you so much. So now, since we've covered that information with Goal Area 1, Student Academic Success and Equity Access, we are now asking you, the stakeholders, to please provide your input in the Q&A at this time. As a reminder, Goal Area 1, Part A, Title II, Part A, it provides professional learning for teachers. Title III provides funding for ESOL summer enrichment programs, as well as tutorial services. Title IV provides students with access to a well-rounded education by promoting diverse learning experiences. And as well as IDEA provides specifically designed instruction, special education, and related services. Please take the time to give your input in the Q&A at this time. You'll have about a minute for your comments. Thank you.
We currently have no information in the chat.
Thank you so much. And now I will give it over to Dr. Margot Williams.
Dr. Williams, if you'll give them just a second, just to see if there are any other suggestions in our Q&A for our Goal Area 1. So it won't be the chat, it will be the Q&A. So I see one, for summer programs, can we have virtual sessions? So there is a summer program that will come out, a whole program listed full of sessions for the summer programming for the district. And we'll have to see. I don't know if any of those are virtual or not. We tried to move to face so that we could make sure that we were definitely engaging. We had a lot of virtual sessions during our COVID time, and look forward to the email that should be going out pretty soon with our summer sessions. All right, I think that is the only one that I see in regard to suggestions for our goal area student success with equity and access. Okay, I do see a lot of questions regarding the DOE funds and if we're going to be addressing what is occurring with the DOE and what's happening there. We are not going to be addressing that because there has not been anything that has been solidified. And so we have not received any firm information from the Georgia Department of Education yet. So that piece we cannot address. Okay, I see a lot of questions, and so we're going to have to get to the questions, but we wanted to get some input on that first goal area. The last person says, will the teachers get training on mental health and social emotional behavior? That is coming up in one of our strategic goal areas. All right, Dr. Williams, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you so much for your input. Now let's transition to goal area number 2 that focuses on school, family, and community engagement. And some of the action steps for this goal area include strengthening family and school and community engagement, creating opportunities for collaboration, improving communication processes, and establishing clear communication channels to effectively engage our multilingual families and provide equitable access to district and school information. And now I'll turn it over to Ms. Sonia Tobler.
Okay, some examples of how federal programs support goal area 2 would be in Title I, Part A, we provide support to parents and families through regional and school-based workshops and meetings. Those could be the parent engagement, the parent compacts, parent policies, family capacity meetings, and it's all incorporated into the school improvement plan. In Title IX, Part A, we provide support through the enrollment process and helping to identify students, assisting with attendance through transportation services. We also partner with community organizations such as Publix, Atlanta Assistance League, the Board of Health, to make sure that the students are receiving the services that they need in order to be successful in school. Title I, Part C facilitates parent advisory council meetings to involve stakeholders in a meaningful way, and this is done through community engagement activities. They provide and disseminate information through flyers, maybe via website, text messages, and the district website. Next, we're going to have Ms. Elaine Love Davis.
Good afternoon again. So for goal number 2, which is school, family, and community engagement, let's talk about how Title II supports this goal. So you may provide feedback on what type of professional learning can be offered to teachers and principals for Title II, because again, that's professional learning, increasing the capacity of our teachers and principals. Next, you have Title III. Again, for Title III, we want you to provide feedback on how we can help the EL students with language proficiency in English, and also with achieving higher levels of achievement in English, and the supplemental services that are offered to the students, their teachers, and parents. As we get to Title IV, here is where you can provide feedback on technology effectiveness, the use of technology effectiveness, also the whole child, wellness of the child, and safe and healthiness with the child. So you may give input in that area as well. And finally, for IDEA, we want you to provide feedback. Here is where you may give feedback regarding IEP meetings, on surveys, transition meetings as well. And next, we will have Dr. Deborah Mitchell.
So good afternoon, everyone. I think you've just heard my colleagues talk about how the district provides support in terms of goal area 2, which is school, family, and community engagement. So what we would really appreciate is if you could put your comments, your suggestions in the Q&A. And, just as a reminder, we just discussed, in terms of Title I, there's opportunities for stakeholders to input and areas of improvement. So this is an excellent opportunity for you to be able to put in the comments. Maybe there are some things that were not mentioned, but you think, hey, this is a great idea that you would like the district to consider. So we'd really appreciate it if you can just put those comments in the Q&A section. And I'm just going to take a quick look. So if you have any additional information to add pertaining to Goal 2, which is school, family, and community engagement, we welcome your comments. Okay, well, thank you so much. We will then move on to our next speaker.
Thank you so much for dropping your input in and giving us all of your feedback. Now let's transition to goal area number 3, which focuses on recruit, develop, and retain talent. And some of the action steps for this goal include recruiting and hiring a diverse and qualified workforce, developing high-performing staff to ensure quality teaching and learning outcomes, retaining highly effective staff, and developing employee pipelines for key staff positions. And now let's listen to the various programs to see how they support this goal. And I'll turn it over to Dr. Warren.
All right, thank you. So we did have a question in the chat that asked if Title II could be used to support the new reading initiative. Yes, it most certainly can. We have supported it with Title II. We've supported it with ESSER before ESSER funds sunsetted in September. And so when we talk about recruiting, developing, and retaining our talent, pervasively throughout the federal programs, you will see professional learning, because we do that to make sure that we are developing and retaining our talent in every one of our federal programs. You have your Title I, we have our academic coaches, we have professional learning sessions that occur throughout the year through our PL department, through schools and leadership, through CNI, through a gazillion ways. We have embedded professional learning. We have conferences, webinars, and a huge summer professional learning series that is done each year. And that crosses not just Title I, that crosses Title II as well. We want to make sure that our migrant teachers have all of the professional learning that they need so that they can actively engage with our students, as well as our McKinney-Vento. This is pervasive, again, through all of the federal programs. We want to make sure that we're retaining our talent by giving them the latest and greatest professional learning so that they can support our students effectively and efficiently. With Title II, we also work on our recruitment efforts as well. We provide funds to our HR department to make sure that the recruitment areas are down packed, as well as tons of professional learning throughout the district, because Title II supports, it can support the whole district, whereas Title I is very specific in nature to our Title I schools. All right. And then when we talk about Title III, these are the evidence-based learning areas for our EL teachers and making sure that they are effective so that they can monitor and make sure that we're doing everything that we need to do. Title IV, again, as I said, this is pervasive. Title IV is the whole child. And so we talk about technology, we talk about well-rounded, we talk about school safety. And so we talk about all of those areas in the vein of making sure that our staff members are well-versed and they understand. And then when we talk about our IDEA, this one is very complex because we have to make sure that our IEPs are done efficiently and effectively. Everybody understands what the rules are, what the laws are, and what the best supports there are available. And so as we get ready to move on to our next slide, this one is really important because our professional learning at this time really is very detailed in terms of what we do throughout the district, throughout the year, throughout the summer to support, develop, and retain our talent. Ms. Turner, you want to?
Yes, as a reminder, thank you so much for that information, Dr. Warren, a wealth of information. And we know that it is very important to recruit, not only recruit, but develop and retain the talent that we have. So just a reminder, as she said, professional development as well as professional excellence that we're trying to get for these talent. So Title III, it provides evidence-based professional learning. Title IV, it provides professional development resources and programs. And IDEA, it provides professional development, departmental meetings, policies, and practices. So please, stakeholders, give your input right now in the Q&A at this time.
And then one was, is there software, EL software for parents to use at home?
Thank you.
Dr. Williams, do you want to address that?
Again, what the question was, how does the number of EL students impact the Title III funds allocated to schools? And another question kind of coincide with that was, is there any software that parents can use at home for EL?
Currently, we do have digital software for our students to use. That would be a question I would recommend that they check in with the child's ESOL teacher to ask about the specific software programs that are being used with the specific child at the schools and according to their grade levels.
Thank you so much. With that, we move on to Dr. Margot Williams. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Thank you
Dr.
all.
Williams, before you move on, we have a couple of more areas I want to address. More PD provided directly to teachers, not through redelivery. More PD days other than one each semester. Thank you for that. And the district, although we have 2 PD days per year, we do have other methods in which we are offering our PD. So job embedded professional learning, we also have, we have the stipends that we give for after school or during the summer. So there are a variety of professional development methods. Someone else asked, are the teachers and staff surveyed what they would like to see be effective in terms of retention? That is a great point. I'm sure that they are within the school area. Some of the professional learning is based on our school data. So the data that Dr. Broughton presented, we do some based on that because we're looking, and if the test scores are showing pervasively that there's an area that needs improvement, then we want to make sure that we are addressing that as well. Will the PFE department have a summer PL this year? So we will have summer PL this year as we have done in the past. So look forward to that catalog coming out within the next few weeks. One, please offer social emotional training for staff and teachers so that they can model the behavior at school that they want to see in the class. That is, we do provide social emotional training, and some is job embedded and some will be in the summer where we offer the sessions as well. All right, Dr. Williams, we will turn it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much again for all of your input. Let's transition to goal area number 4 now, which focuses on culture and climate. And some of the action steps for this goal area include creating and maintaining a safe, positive learning environment for our students, establishing and maintaining clear and high expectations, cultivating culturally responsive learning, and providing support for social and emotional learning. So let's listen to the various programs to see how they support this goal.
So, as for Title I, Part A, resources are provided for interventions such as positive behavior interventions, which is PBIS, and supportive emotional learning to ensure that our school's culture and climate is addressed. As for Title IX, Part A, McKinney-Vento, provides services as it relates to informational posters, brochures, professional development. As for Title I, Part C, provides knowledgeable and supportive best practices in bilingual education to ensure that every student feels valued. As for Title II, Part A, provides professional services as it relates to learning about the culture and the climate. And as for Title III, provides professional learning and workshops for our parents in collaboration with our local community. Title IV provides programs and services to promote safe and supportive learning environments within our schools. And IDEA provides mentoring programs, which monitors discipline and collaborates with the school to address the social and emotional needs of our students. Now we will hear from Ms. Victoria Turner.
Thank you so much, Ms. Fletcher. So we're going to talk about Goal Area 4, Culture and Climate. So we need the stakeholders to give your input at this time. Please provide your Q&A. Please provide your input in the Q&A at this time. As a reminder of a few of the things that were just covered, Title II, Part A provides professional learning, which is very, very important, on culture and climate and how it supports academic success for the students. Title III, it provides professional learning workshops. Title IV provides programs, services to promote a safe and supportive learning environment. And IDEA provides mentoring programs, monitor discipline, and collaborate with schools to address social and emotional needs. Please, at this time, go to the Q&A and give your input. Thank you.
So we have one person that said, PBIS is a great program, yet it doesn't work with all grade levels due to its structure. Why don't we have more ABA strategies in classrooms? So if you could put what the ABA strategies are, schools look at their data and they look at the best possible way to address the culture and climate within the school areas. And that's why we're here, so that you all can give us some additional supports, input, anything that you all would like to see. Because you're right, everybody does not use PBIS, and it doesn't work for everybody. We have a question: how do teachers at non-Title I schools receive this type of training and support? So when we talk about our summer catalog, the majority of the summer catalog is either paid with Title II because that does all, or it was paid with ESSER because that was all as well, because we want to make sure that all of our schools, although Title I does cover 115 schools, but we want to make sure that all of our schools receive the training and support that they need. We have someone who said, we appreciate the increased emphasis on productive and restorative ISS. More resources are always welcome, as well as more ways to share with the community. Thank you. That's something that we'll look at in terms of putting that in our clip. Providing more opportunities for students to provide feedback regarding the current climate and culture. More student feedback is definitely what we need to see. And the superintendent has a student platform where they can provide, it's a very open forum, where they provide information to him as to what they would like to see within the schools as well. And then when you do your CSIP, we ask for student support in that as well, so that they can discuss, here are our goals, and how do you all think of ways that we can address those as well. The question is, are there mental health counselors in every school? There are counselors in every school. Can we add on more physical education like sports? That would not quite be the federal program's arena. All right, we will move on to our next goal area.
Thank you so much for all of your input. Let's move on to goal area number 5 that focuses on mental health and wellness. And some of the action steps for this area include ensuring excellent financial management and ensuring efficient use of resources. Let's listen to how the various programs support this goal, and I'll turn it over to Ms. Taffy Fletcher.
As for Title I, Part A, monitors the use of the funds and they ensure that they are effectively used and measured by evidence-based resources to meet the academic and social needs. Title I, Part C monitors and review the program data and also monitors the effectiveness to identify areas of need and improvement as relates to our school policies. Title IX, Part A, McKinney-Vento monitors all funds and ensures that access to resources to support the social emotional learning needs for our students are met, even through wraparound interventions and counseling. As for Title II, Part A, it monitors the programs and the funds to ensure that they are focused on the district's needs and are aligned with the state and federal guidelines. And for Title III, the funds are monitored as it relates to the allocation and supplemental language services to ensure that they comply with the state and federal guidelines. Now we'll hear from Ms. Deborah Mitchell.
So for goal area 5 for mental health and wellness as it pertains to Title 4, so they monitor and analyze programs for its effectiveness, ensuring that program needs are implemented, that it is an allowable expense, and that it ensures fiscal and accountability of resources. With regards to IDEA, there are several programs that IDEA provides for our teachers and our paraprofessionals. Several of them include crisis prevention, intervention strategies. Now, we've also got to remember with IDEA, it is based on the individual needs of the student, and it is driven by the needs that are identified in the IEP. In addition to that, we also provide functional behavior assessments. We also provide sensory rooms. So we, buying materials to provide sensory rooms so that our students, their mental health and wellness are addressed, as we are also being fiscally responsible. Next slide, please. Okay, so now that you've heard how the district supports Area Goal 5 with our federal programs, this is now your opportunity to put your comments, even questions in the Q&A section. So I just want you to remind you of what the different programs provide, which is they analyze the programs, they make sure that it's evidence-based, they make sure that the needs of students are met. They also ensure that the appropriate programs are provided for our students as it pertains to mental health and wellness. So if there are any comments, any additional questions you would like to add, please do so now in the Q&A.
There was a comment while you have a minute. They asked, can you explain more about the sensory rooms and how it's used? Can you explain that a little bit, please?
Yes, I can. So remember, everything that we do in terms of IDEA is based on the student's needs. So if there are students' needs who maybe have some issues pertaining to deficiencies or weaknesses in a sensory area, then depending on obviously the needs of the student, we may provide some sensory items. So that could be things like fidgets for a child to hold on to, so that that can get them focused. It could also mean maybe looking at the lighting in the classroom. It could also mean just even buying items so the students understand the different types of textures. Based on the student's disability, they may require different items. So again, it's more obviously very specific to a student's need, and I'm just giving you a general outline.
We also have in our schools what are called FACE advocates, who are there to support our students with their mental health, with academic support as well. So they have a safe place to go to talk to someone. They call if they're not in school. And so these space advocates, they're new this year. They support our students, especially the ones who are the most at risk, with making sure that they have a safe place to go, a safe place to talk about their mental health, to talk about their grades, and to get some additional support.
Okay, Dr. Williams.
So much for your input. Thank you so much for your input. Now let's move to our last goal area, which focuses on organizational excellence. And some of the action steps for this goal include providing clean, safe, and efficient school facilities, delivering safe and efficient transportation services, delivering efficient nutrition, school nutrition services, improving and maintaining secure, accessible, and equitable digital learning environment for our students, and ensuring excellent financial management of district resources. Now let's listen to how the various programs support this goal.
All right, as we talk about organizational excellence, when we talked about our goal areas of organizational excellence, a part of that were our facilities. And I want you to know that federal programs does not support the facilities piece. That's part of our district responsibilities. And so they support that. Another part was transportation. And although the majority of that is not federal programs, but when it comes to services in terms of our tutorial, when it comes in our McKinney-Vento, then that's where we are as far as transportation is concerned. So when we're talking about organizational excellence, we're really talking a lot about making sure that fiscal management of the district resources, and we have a great return on investment. Title I. So with Title I, we always supply, the schools are able to use their allocation for supplies, for technology equipment, to ensure that they have a great digital learning environment. And that is one of our strategic goal areas where we are improving and maintaining a secure, accessible, and equitable digital learning environment for all schools. It's also ensuring excellent financial management of the district resources, which means that we're constantly monitoring how these resources are used and making sure that they're used for allowable items. When we talk about our Title III, they support language development with the digital resources, the digital learning resources as well. That was one of the questions someone asked, if the Title III could be used, some software could be used. And again, it depends on the student and the school as well. Title IV, one of the buckets in Title IV is technology. And so we make sure that we leverage this technology to meet the whole child, to making sure that they have access, they know how to utilize it, and the teachers know how to utilize the technology. So there's also professional learning surrounding technology as well. And so with our organizational excellence, these are the items that we have identified throughout these three programs here. So now, your feedback. So what is your feedback? Do you all have any suggestions of how you all would like for us to utilize technology a little bit more within our federal programs? Beyond the professional learning, we also have, the students are one-to-one. So beyond the one-to-one, what are some things that you all would like to see in terms of our technology integration? So one person put, please consider how you can remove certain websites from the Chromebooks, such as YouTube. I know that YouTube is utilized in several classrooms for teaching, teaching methods as well. That would be something that our IT department would have the access to discuss. Our schools use multiple software programs, Canvas on campus. Is there a way that this could be one software that combines both services? Again, I think that would be an IT question. Tablets and communication assisted devices for non and minimally verbal students. That's a great point. This would go along with the specific student, and that should be something considered when they're talking about the plan for that student. This is great. It would be great if you focused on the use of AI and how to use it appropriately. That's definitely something that is coming, and that we should be providing professional learning for our teachers in regard to that. So thank you. Oh, Ms. Johnson, is there an evaluation process to measure effectiveness of the subscription programs so that we aren't spending money unnecessarily? Yes, we are currently evaluating the subscriptions. So thank you for that question. We are definitely evaluating that to see what will bring the most return on investment. Can we get the sensory room technologies, current equipment, sensory diversity, and aesthetic? Again, that would be a question that you would have as you all are developing the plan. All right, thank you so much. And I will turn it over to Ms. Parkett for more information on our parent-family engagement plan.
Greetings again, and I apologize for my delay as I am in a schoolhouse, so we are constantly pivoting with announcements. However, we are ready to talk about our parent and family engagement plan. So just as you are on today's session, we are jointly developing our parent and family engagement plan, or PFE plan, with your input, with your thoughts, based on the various areas that we have covered during today's session. Then subsequently from that, we will utilize your input, your thoughts, and outline these various ways of implementation of the programs and activities to further engage you and your scholar throughout the school year. And then last but definitely not least, this will also be utilized when looking at the expectations for parent and family engagement for district and local schools for their parent and family engagement programs. And speaking of the plan, here it is. It is available on our school district website. You have here the URL. It was placed in the chat, or my apologies, the Q&A earlier, and I will place it in there again for your ease of access. And if you have out your mobile device and you're not on your mobile device during today's meeting, go ahead, scan that QR code. And what you will do then, it will take you directly to our Title I page, where you will select Parent and Family Engagement. And there you will see the PDF of our current FY25 or fiscal year 25 DeKalb County School District Parent and Family Engagement Plan. And now I will turn it over to my colleague, Ms. Joanne Potts.
Thank you, Ms. Parkett. Stakeholders, your voice really matters. You have the opportunity to provide feedback in terms of how that 1% set aside of the Title I funds are used to help support our students' learning. Currently, that money is used for like salaries, supplies, resources, translation of Title I parent and family engagement documents for our schools, as well as for the conferences, training, and things like that. But you may have some ideas and suggestions or recommendations that we hadn't thought of. So if you would kindly give us your feedback, we certainly would appreciate it. Here is a QR code, and you see the link that you are able to provide that feedback to us. This basically is an opportunity to provide feedback for the district's Title I plan, which is also referred to as a policy. So please provide that to us for this CLIP meeting. You get opportunities to provide information on the district's Title I plan for the upcoming school year, and you will also get an opportunity to provide feedback for each school's Title I policy for the upcoming school year. Thank you. And now I'm going to turn it back over to my colleague, Ms. Perkett.
Thank you, Ms. Potts. And since we're talking about feedback, let's give a little guidance to that, okay? For today's session, when you select the QR code or the link that was previously displayed on the screen, you're able to select your language. In DeKalb County School District, we have a plethora of cultures and so much diversity, and we want to ensure everyone has the opportunity to provide their input in their language. So there you're able to select your language from the options. Then you will select your role. Now let's talk about that role, okay? So we have administrators on today's session. We have community members, we have custodians, we have everyone. However, if you happen to select community member, what we'd like you to do then is after that, a text box will open up and it's going to ask you, in which community do you reside? Right? So you can put South DeKalb area, or maybe you're going to put Druid Hills area. And if you're aligned to a specific organization, community organization, we'd like for you to put that right there in that text box as well. After you've provided your role, then you will let us know your meeting. So clearly, if you're on today's session, which you are, because you're hearing me talk to you right now, you will select the first bubble, which says 12:30 p.m. But don't forget, we have another session today, because I saw some comments there in the Q&A that said that they wanted to have a little bit more time. Don't worry, come on to the second session this evening at 6 p.m. at our AIC building, which is located at our school district on 1701 Mountain Industrial Boulevard. And then you will select the second option when you're there this evening. And then last but not least, let's get into all of the wonderful ideas that you have. And that's going to be providing that feedback. And you will see conveniently located for you by goal area opportunities to tell us, yes, I do have some input. I do have some feedback. And then you will select yes. And then a text box will open up for you where you can put all those great ideas. If you don't have any ideas, that's fine. You will then select I desire no changes and continue throughout the form. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it over to our wonderful leader, Dr. Maisha Warren. And as you see on the screen here, you do have an opportunity for email for questions. Thank you, Dr. Warren.
All right, so we want to thank you all for coming. There were a lot of questions in the chat that were specific to items that may not have been federal programs related. And I know that this is an opportunity for everybody to ask questions and to try to get your answers, to get your questions answered. Some of the items were not directly were not directly related to federal programs, but we will try to answer all of the ones that are, because we appreciate your time. We appreciate you all for being here. We appreciate your feedback. This This PowerPoint will be on the district website tomorrow after we have our 6 o'clock meeting. You also, as Ms. Perquette just shared, you also have the opportunity to sit down and formally, once you have the PowerPoint, you can say, hey, I didn't think about this. Let me put this on our input and our feedback form that we will have for you all as well. So again, we appreciate you all for being here. We thank you for all of the time that you took to ask your questions, and we hope that the majority of them were answered. If not, you're able to come back tonight and we will have that face-to-face interaction where we can talk through a few more items. Again, we appreciate you all for being here, and we look forward to continued collaboration throughout the rest of the school year and next school year. Thank you.